What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of ChaseOff's. I'm your host, Chase, and I'm about to go off on a game called MadWorld, which is probably one of the most violent games to ever hit the Wii. I'm talking, you have Mortal Kombat and Manhunt, which are easily some of the most brutal games to ever exist. But MadWorld definitely deserves a spot up there. I mean, at least those games have color, you know? The only color you see in this game is red. In fact, it's not even just that. The only thing in color in this game is blood. And you're gonna see a lot of it. MadWorld takes place in this fictional city named Barradeen City. No date is given, but assuming since this game came out in 2009, considering things have been this year, I wouldn't be surprised if we're very far off. A previously unknown terrorist group named the Organizers take over the city, block off all entrances to it, and then fill the entire city with this poison. They then tell everybody that everyone in the city will be dead within 24 hours, some even sooner than that, unless they're seen murdering someone else.
Family members and neighbors are a convenient place to begin.
Once they kill another person, they will be then given the vaccine. And just like that, within 3 days, the entire city becomes the new setting for this TV show called Death Watch. Brought to you with colorful commentary from Howard Buckshot Holmes and Crease Jake the Dog Creeley.
You know, I like a gal who sucks as much as the next guy, but this blood-hungry bitch can give a hickey that'll put you in the morgue. Yeah, I fought her in the Eastern Bloc Games and lost a match. 4 pints of plasma and was declared legally dead for a week. Awesome rock on her, though. Oh, true that. While you're blinded by her headlights, she'll sick a swarm of bastard bats on you to mess up your shit. Plus, the fuckers have fleas. Awesome rock on her, though. True that.
However, it's not just all about fighting for your life. There is major fame involved, and there is a very, very handsome money reward at the very end of it as well, assuming you live to actually see it. The popularity, of course, of the show takes off, and soon contestants from even outside of the city are making their way in to try and get this money reward. And finally, this is where we meet Jack. Seemingly an outsider coming in just to earn a couple bucks, but he has his own reasons. We'll let you come across those yourself. But for now, we've earned our sponsorship, and we've earned a ranking in the system, so let's begin. So, first things first, my guy Jack has a chainsaw attached to his arm, which is awesome. Using the Wiimote, you could swing the remote horizontally or vertically, resulting in a nice, juicy chainsaw murder. He's got some fists, with which he uses his excellent fists to face fist the fuck out of people. Rapid tapping the A button will just mash these fuckers in. But honestly, that would get boring after some time. And this is a game show, with a point system. So, keeping that in mind, if you want to keep climbing the ranks with this point system to get that money and fame, you're going to have to get a little creative with these fists and these chainsaws and literally the world around you. So, for example, you see that signpost? Why don't you just go ahead and run that signpost through somebody's head? Trash can? Put it over the body so they can't really move their arms around. Spike wall? Well, you know what to do with the spike wall.
Well, at least that guy lived a good life. Look at the young. I said good, not wrong.
There are plenty of different things in the environment that you can use in whatever way that you can think of to kill as many people as you want. You can get as creative as you want, and the more creative you get, the more points you get. That's how you move quickly through these levels. There are plenty of different types of murder out there that you can find, and I feel like going into details about some of them counts technically as a spoiler, considering it's part of the level design. So, if you can think of it, you could probably do it, and it's probably in a level. I mean, honestly, like, I remember even just to a point thinking on the first level how cool it would be to baseball smack some dude into these chainsaw blades that are above this train, and then I did it, and then it worked, and that's just good gameplay. Each stage is a different part of the city. You're given 30 minutes on each stage to make as many points as possible. Reaching certain point milestones will unlock different things in each stage. At times, a new weapon, others it's a new segment called the Bloodbath Challenge. These challenges are fucking nuts. Man darts is probably one of my favorites too. Pick up a baseball bat and just fucking swing and try and hit those dudes up on the board. Simple and satisfying. Another one is golfing, but you're hitting zombies' heads through flying targets and shit. Another one is throwing these zombies into a giant's hand. Honestly, it's a good way to kind of break up the regular gameplay. And if you have a friend, you can play some of these mini games with that friend and compete with scores. Now, once you reach the final point milestone, and at the end of every stage there is a boss fight that you have to complete to raise your ranking. Each fight can be tough at times, but we're not talking like Dark Souls levels of difficulty. The game does give you a lock-on and dodge capability, but it does take some time to get used to. Jack will always dodge behind him, and he can still face in any direction while he's locked on. It does kind of throw you off here and there, but luckily if you dodge at the right time, you will kind of do this slow-mo dodge out of harm's way. So, in a sense, it kind of saves you. Another thing with these bosses is you have these quick time events that are really cool to watch, honestly. It's almost like a God of War kind of style where you're just beating the shit out of these enemies. But, unfortunately, there's only one animation per boss. So, you can see the same animation up to almost 4 times per boss. And that's not including if you die. You know, that's assuming you live. But, of course, the final killing animation is always the coolest one to watch because you're literally just mangling these bosses. You are just dismembering them. You electrify Frank and his like head explode. It's intense. It's pretty great. And speaking of exploding heads, I talk about blood every single review, and of course this is the visual focus of the game, so how can I not talk about it in this one? And honestly, this game does blood so fucking well. I'm genuinely impressed that anybody can make blood that looks so good on the Wii, like of all consoles. Nothing against the Wii, but I mean, let's be honest, it's not necessarily the pinnacle of graphics. But this game's blood looks so fucking good. The way that it sprays and flows and just explodes from bodies, the decals that are left behind are so perfectly like splattered, it's great. And then the blood decals themselves land where the particle effect lands, so it even just looks like it makes sense. There's a lot of blood, and I know in past reviews I've said too much blood can be annoying and ugly, but this game's blood is done so well, and it is the main visual focus of the game, so it gives it a pass. It's just done so perfectly that it looks so great. I cannot talk enough about it. More games can learn about this game's blood design.
They only had one guy as the blood effects designer? He must have been working 24/7. You know...
Alright, so, MadWorld. A game that I had a lot of fun playing. I had a lot of fun playing when it first came out, and I still have a lot of fun playing it now. My only criticisms, I guess I'd really have to say, is either it's, you know, a little bit too short, and I wish there was like a global leaderboard, you know, that I can kind of compare myself with against other people's scores. But at the same time, I don't really need that. It's just a fun game to kind of play through, waste up to 30 minutes to an hour, just kind of messing around, killing a bunch of people, and just kind of having simple fun like that. I definitely recommend it again. So, thanks for sticking around. My name's Chase, and I'm off. Later. Oh, and one last thing. This soundtrack. Woo!
Come with it, bitch, take your best shot and try to finish it. Don't blow it, cause I will kill you before you know it. Come with it, bitch, take your best shot and try to finish it. Don't blow it, cause I will kill you before you know it.